right, next one's from Colton Leo, and they said, if Pokemon Go ditched shiny Pokemon, it'd be like eating a Pokeball-shaped cookie and realizing there's no chocolate inside. Still tasty, but missing that sweet surprise. Where else would we get our dopamine hits?
In Monster Hunter.
Beating a monster hunt without getting hit.
Yeah. Magnifique.
Yeah, no, 100% though.
You're tuned into the GOCast podcast, your one-stop shop for updates, news, tips, and community in the world of Pokemon Go. Thank you for listening.
It's going down. We're yelling Timburr during October's Community Day.
Back in 20, we're out to play with a new event.
Go out and play on a new hatch day? You know I Azur will.
Keep a lookout for falling items from Bombirdier, this week's Pokélore subject, and more on this episode of GOCast. Hello and welcome to the GOCast podcast, episode 253. It is September 26th, yet another Tuesday evening. I'm your host, Chris, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Kyle.
Hiya.
Hey, Kyle, how you doing this week?
I'm here.
You are?
I'm
Yes.
here.
Just like the previous episode can confirm, Kyle is indeed here. But you know who wasn't here last week? Both of us. An episode did not happen, and that's all right. We have so much to talk about this week. Trust me, we won't be missing anything. Last night, though, I did record a new show, which will be revealed to all y'all soon. It'll be in the feed and everything. It is a take on our interview bonus episodes, but a little bit more refined, with a little bit more formula, I suppose, and intent, and also a new co-host that you will recognize from other places. So I'm very excited to get that out to everybody. It'll be fantastic. But enough is enough about anything else. It's GOCast time. Yes, it is. Big shout out to two brand new patrons of ours since the last time we gave y'all a shout out. Big thank you to Marianne H. and Adam Drake. Thank you very, very much for your support and all that good stuff. More about Patreon and patronage at the end of the episode. So, Mr. Kyle, 2 weeks ago, we set some goals, and to just sort of take us all back because time moves so fast. There's always something going on in the world of Pokemon Go. What were we looking at? We were looking at Oddish Research Day and nothing else at the time, right? So for yourself, you wanted to do gifting, just generally speaking, gifting. Did that happen for you?
No.
Okay. All right. What about Mega Progress?
No.
What about New Buddy Progress?
Not gonna lie, I totally forgot about this one. So
okay,
that wasn't gonna happen regardless of other circumstances. So no.
And what about 300,000 experience?
I did do that.
All right, my man. Okay,
I got like 1 million-ish, something like that.
Wow. Okay, cool. Is that including the XP from Grubbin Day?
It is.
Yeah. Okay, good.
So,
it counts. Whatever.
Grubbin Day was mostly a plus day. So
definitely. We'll talk about that in just a second here. For myself, I wanted to catch 10 shiny Oddish. I caught 8. I caught 8 shiny Oddish. I did 106 research tasks and fell short just by 2. Dude, I don't know how that even happened. I thought when I sat back down to crunch my numbers, I'm like, man, I think I did like 50 or 60 research tasks. I was feeling good about it. And then I was like, no way, 106? Ridiculous. Whoops. Oh boy. So not on that, but 500,000 Stardust was my next goal. And I did do that. I crushed it. 50 eggs that week. I did crush it. What's funny is that last week, which wasn't in our original parameters for these goals, I walked the most I've walked in a really long time, like 47 some odd kilometers, but I wasn't buying incubators, nor was I really actively playing Go. And I only hatched like last week, like 36 or some odd eggs, but the week prior was 50 plus. So that's great. So yeah, the elephant in the room that we're referring to that might have gotten in the way of our Pokemon Go play is Monster Hunter now. And we did mention it 2 weeks ago, and now it's been 2 weeks. And How are we feeling about Monster Hunter now, Kyle?
Is this where we do our Monster Hunter minute?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Yeah, our unofficial segment, Monster Hunter Minute. Let's bang it out right now. And then we can get into all the news.
Someone else can start a timer because we're not going to. Monster
No.
Hunter Now is so good.
It is.
And I am biased because I like Monster Hunter in general. But like it is, I have actively gone out and played every single day before work and on my way home after work every single day since it came out.
What you should clarify is when you say before work, what time are we talking about? Because that speaks volumes.
2 days a week I open at Starbucks, and so I have to be at work at 4:30 a.m. I guess it's only one day right now because I start a little bit later on another day. The day I went in at 4:30 a.m., I left the house 25 minutes before I usually would, just so that I could go to where I knew all the gathering points and monster spawns were before I went to work. I went out at 4 a.m. before work because I felt the game was enjoyable enough to do that.
We're talking 2019 levels of Pokemon Go engagement. That you're like, I am compelled to play, and therefore will sacrifice the most precious thing to me, my sleep, to go and do it.
If you don't know anything about the game and the idea of more AR and GPS location games is appealing to you, it's very good. It is very good. Yeah, yes, it's made by Niantic, and it does a lot of things right. The monetization, not good. Don't worry about that, though, because you don't need it.
It's true. It's true. You really don't. It does a good job of setting you up for success. But I think most importantly, my biggest takeaway is that it's actually a video game with gameplay elements that reward you being good and punish you for being bad. And it feels fair, you know, like, oh yeah, no, that was my bad. I got too greedy and then I got hit, you know. There's all that sort of stuff in there. So, and we're not being paid by Niantic to promo this game. We both legitimately think
I will.
Yeah, I mean, sure, absolutely. Niantic, you're listening, just retroactively, because we're about to show this game probably every week for a while. No, it's we both think it's a great game and would recommend it. So, yeah, great.
Yeah.
Okay, Monster Hunter done. It's Pokemon Go time once again, which means that we're going to hop right into the news because, boy, is there a lot of it. Yo, what up? Welcome to the news. Okay, first piece of news isn't news. Well, it is news because we didn't really cover it on the show, but this past weekend was Grubbin Community Day. And so we didn't get a chance to really set any goals or anything like that, but I made my way out to the Chicago Botanic Gardens with a couple of friends of mine. Kyle, you played in a local park, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I went out and played.
Cool.
Sure.
Cool. And I had set a soft goal for myself of 20, and I did manage to do that. But by the skin of my teeth, I got exactly 20. I got an extra one on the way home off of some sort of spawn thing. But cool Pokemon, great day, good bonus, no complaints. What about you, Kyle?
No, I got 15 shinies.
Yo.
All but 2 of those were from my plus. So there's that. I'm not gonna lie, I played more Monster Hunter than I did Pokemon that day.
Sure.
But it was fine. I had no issues. I still struggled to throw excellence when I was catching Grubbin. It was a little annoying. But other than that, it was just good.
Yeah.
Just good.
Yeah, really nothing bad to say about it at all. I forgot like what the shiny looked like. I remember what Vikavolt looked like, but I forgot that he was red. And I was like, oh, this looks
great
so
shiny.
Good.
Great
really
shiny.
Good. Yeah, really good. So we hope that you guys had a great, successful Grubbin Community Day, just like we did. Or if you went out and hunted monsters, that you also enjoyed that, I suppose. Okay, so first and foremost, for real news here is the October content update. And it was released as an infographic again, which is, has become the norm. So maybe I'll stop bringing that up every single time, but who knows? So we're going to go section by section and talk about what's coming out for our October. So in 5-star raids, this is of no surprise now. Our current 5-star raid bosses are the legendary beasts, Raikou, Entei, Suicune. We talked about it 2 weeks ago. Kyle did a great gear up segment. They're all shiny available. Grab your missing pieces, get what you need, but don't worry about it meta-wise. I believe that was our nutshell last time. Yeah.
Raikou, Entei, usable, but probably not worth all of your raid passes.
Yeah. And then coming up after that, because those end October 6th, Guzzlord is coming back. Guzzlord has been in 5-star raids before. What's exciting about this time is that it is shiny available, and shiny Guzzlord is incredible. It looks really, really good. So you should definitely do that. And then after that, October 20th through November 3rd is going to be Darkrai shiny possible coming back to raids as well. We've seen this come back. When it first came out as shiny, it was a big deal because it was one of the only ways, if the only way, in order to get a proper shiny Darkrai. And so for that alone, it still remains exciting, especially with Home kind of getting its act together lately.
Also worth mentioning for those who care, Guzzlord can be soloed.
Really?
Can be soloed. It is Dark Dragon, 4 times weak to Fairy. Mega Gardevoir would make it a fairly easy solo, but even without a Mega, people were doing it when it was first released. So
a fairly easy solo?
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
So
right.
if that kind of thing is your jam, it can be pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. We would recommend it for the shiny or just to get it. Honestly. But let's talk about Mega Raids. What's really nice is that through October 6th, the Mega Gardevoir is still in raids. So if you need to work on that in order to, solo your Guzzlord, you still have an opportunity to prepare. And then after that is also not a bad option, though definitely not as good because it's not going to be doing Fairy 4 times. But Mega Gengar will be in there from October 6th through October 20th. Mega Raids, shiny available. And then the 20th through November 3rd is Mega Bennett, also shiny available. And our Shadow legendary for this entire quarter or season is Shadow Moltres. Not shiny available, which is odd. According to this infographic, I haven't seen anybody post one, so I really don't think it actually came out. So wild. So there's that. Let's take a look next at, I was about to look at showcases, but that's the whole infographic. Let's do Spotlight Hours next. October 3rd. Spotlight Hours are on Tuesdays from 6 to 7 p.m. local time. So on October 3rd, you'll see Slowpoke. It can be shiny with the associated bonus of 2 times candy for transferring Pokemon. October 10th, Shroomish can be shiny, 2 times XP for evolving. October 17th, Pumpkaboo can be shiny, 2 times Stardust for catching. Phantump on October 24th, not shiny eligible as of yet, 2 times XP for catching. And lastly, on Halloween itself, October 31st, Yamask can be shiny, 2 times candy for catching Pokemon. That is a fun one to have on Halloween. Very cool. The candy bonus, it's Yamask, it's great. No complaints. Yeah, and they get lucky that it was on a Tuesday, but at the same time, it feels good. That's neat.
But why aren't the first 2 ghosts?
Because during the Psychic Spectacular it's not October. It's over. Out to Play is
Out to play will be over.
Done on the
Mystery event, which we'll get to in a second, is going to be going.
So I don't know. I don't have a good answer.
Sure, Slowpoke. It's the 3rd, whatever. It's the right start.
No, don't give them that.
The Shroomish, obviously, Shroomish is exciting. I'm not going to say don't catch Shroomish, but it should have been Ghost. Should have been Sableye. That should have been Sableye. Stardust.
They have the Harvest Festival on their events from the 12th to the 17th, but this is on the 10th. Again, it's outside of that window.
That's all. This is going to be a reoccurring theme. Salty about ghosts, but why? Anyways.
Well, then I think maybe we should talk about those events. So September 27th through October 2nd is Out to Play. We'll cover that. We have the details. It's one of the next pieces. A mystery event from the 5th through the 9th. A Go Battle weekend from the 7th to the 8th. So that'll be nested within that mystery event. Harvest Festival from the 12th through the 17th. Community Day on October 15th, nested in that Harvest Festival. And we do also have the Community Day information. So we'll talk about that. Incense Day on October 21st. Not sure what that is quite yet. And then Halloween Part 1 starts on October 19th through October 26th. And then Halloween Part 2 plus Team Go Rocket Takeover will be from the 26th through the 31st. Halloween is a very exciting time in the world of Pokemon. They always do it big. They always do it well. So if you're like, can I get excited about this? Yeah, you can. Cool. For raid hours, really quick, October 4th, we'll see the legendary beasts in the death throes of their time period with us. October 11th and 18th will both sport Guzzlord. And on the 25th, we'll see Darkrai. So target appropriately. All right, and here's the big lift here. Pokestop showcases. There's quite a few of them. From the 30th to the 2nd of October. To clarify, from September 30th to October 2nd. Growlithe and Hisuian Growlithe will both be in Pokestop showcases. That'll make a little bit more sense here when we start talking about the events. October 5th through October 9th and October 12th through October 13th are 2 mysteries. On October 15th, we'll feature Timburr and Conkeldurr. And so I guess that's tipping the hand on what the community day might be. Yeah, on that same day. On the 16th and the 17th will be Pumpkaboo and its evolution Gourgeist. The 20th through the 22nd will be Shuppet and its evolution Bennett. And then from the 23rd through the 25th, they're kind of breaking up the Halloween event into like 3-day chunks. So the 23rd through the 25th is a mystery. The 26th through the 28th is Phantom. And then the 29th through the 31st of October, the end of the month, Kyle's going to get first places in everyone he can find. It's Ghastly and Gengar both having their opportunity to be showcased. So there's that. Cool. Any of this October jumping out to you? I mean, obviously Halloween, right? But is there a specific detail that you're like, oh, okay?
I think for me, it's the ones that they're keeping a mystery for, like the Harvest Festival.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if we're going to get like Bramblin for the Harvest Festival.
Oh.
See if they're still on the Paldea thing. There are not that many ghosts left that would make sense for regular whatever drops.
Yep. Bramblin, Grievard.
I mean, we don't have Sinistea yet.
Sinistea.
There's like...
There's also the new Chai versions of those if they wanted to cross-promote.
Yeah. Poltergeist and Sinistea.
Yes, Poltergeist and Sinistea, yeah.
Yeah. So that's my guess there. What is the 5th and the 9th? Like the fact that there's 3 mysteries is kind of interesting. Which actually leads me to a question then for you.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about knowing every showcase in advance?
I kind of like it because that means that if I'm going to do mass transfers, I can make a search string and save it that excludes these, so I don't miss out. Because a lot of people are like me, and either they're at the cap of Pokemon storage that they bought up to, or at the top cap like I am, and they just don't have time to get rid of stuff. You know, people that play a lot, you know. So I like it, but at the same time, it's kind of nice. Sort of like it was sort of like a catch cup. It's like, oh, I didn't know I needed Pumpkaboos, so well, they're out now. I guess I'll go grab one. And
yeah, see, that's the biggest appeal for showcases for me personally. I'm saving XXL and XX small Pokemon when I catch them, at least a couple of each. But like, I don't want my inventory to look like that. Like, unless I want the Pokemon, I don't want to keep an extra small and an extra large of every single one. I don't have enough space.
And not even that, but like 3 of each.
Yeah. Well, I have no dream of ever doing that. So
yeah.
I kind of like the idea of not knowing until the day of, except for obvious examples like Community Day and maybe a featured event, for example, like that.
I do like it when they're more than 1 day long too, because it gives you an opportunity to sort of look around, hunt around, and then there is that metagame of managing which one of your 3 is in which showcase, and that only really gets to be interesting if you get to sit there for a few days and like casually battle it out with somebody for rank 3 or whatever, you know? So yeah, that's cool. Yeah, for me, I mean, Halloween is undoubtedly very, very exciting. Although I think my big takeaway is Shiny Guzzlord. If I really had to pick, I'm excited for that. It's going to be sweet. Cool. So why don't we dig into some of these events then? The Out to Play event. Adventure awaits during the Out to Play event. Trainers, get ready to adventure and explore your favorite routes during the new Out to Play event in Pokemon Go. Enjoy event bonuses and featured Pokemon encounters, and read on to learn more about the updates in store for routes. Plus, for the first time, trainers around the world will be able to encounter shiny Hisuian Growlithe if they're lucky. This has been overdue, in my opinion. I'm very hyped for Hisuian Growlithe because I hatch a lot of eggs. So
I don't know if the shiny looks any good. Speaking of hatching eggs, I hatched a Larvesta today.
My man, you did. Is it any good?
No, it's terrible. It's 10, 12, 10.
Oh, man. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. You got that candy. That's really what matters. Well, congratulations. But when is this out to play event? It is Wednesday, September 27th to Monday, October 2nd at 8 p.m. local time. It's starting tomorrow as of the day of this recording.
Oh, it's the same coloration as Growlithe.
Yes.
Weird.
It is. Yeah.
I would have expected something different.
And that means Hisuian Arcanine looks really sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really good. Wild encounters for this event, you can expect to see Ouch Yo Window, Psyduck, Growlithe, Onix, Eevee, Phoebus, Woobat, Pawmi, and Arcanine if you're lucky. In eggs, both in 2 kilometers and 7 kilometers. So if you want an easy hatch, you can roll the dice. Or if you want a guaranteed target, you can open your gifts. There you go. It doesn't seem to have a boosted shiny rate, though. So just bear that in mind that you're going to be doing this full odds hunting for this Hisuian Growlithe shiny. So just factor that into your calculations, whatever that means to you. Event bonuses, Kecleon will be appearing more frequently at Pokestops. I cannot tell you how important this is. Well, hopefully it actually feels like it's increased. But I have so many friends that play this game very casually that are still working on this, that are just like, I have 1 Kecleon out of my 10 that they need or whatever, right? And I'm just like,
I'm not even at that stage still.
Yeah, just... you need to get there for this event because otherwise it's a painful grind.
I'm at 10 best buddies, so that's basically never going to happen.
This is the week. You got to get it done.
I would rather die than have to change buddies 7 times a day.
Well, you don't have to do it 7 times a day. You just need 1 more.
No, I only have 4 best buddies.
Oh, I thought you were saying you needed 1 left. Oh, okay.
No, I'm on that step.
Gotcha.
Who did I even do last? Oh, Lola Marowak was number 5. So that's 5 best buddies.
Yeah, this is starting tomorrow. You really won't have time, I don't think.
No, I won't.
Well, it's cool to see the bonus. It exists. Let's see if it works.
Can Kecleon be shiny? No. So
it can't.
The bonus exists only for the people on that step. That's kind of the funny part.
We should clarify before people are like, yes, it can. It was shiny in Hoenn Tour, but it is not shiny now.
Correct. The global shiny is not turned on.
Right. Yeah. Other bonuses include 3 times XP for completing a route and earn buddy candy faster when exploring routes with your buddy. Those are similar to the event that we had when the routes first came out. So those are not new. Field research task encounters. So if you get event themed research tasks and they have an encounter as a reward, these 4 Pokemon are what you could possibly get. /C. Hisuian Growlithe, another chance at that shiny. Hisuian Sneasel, Hisuian Quillfish, and Pawmi. Timed research, free event exclusive timed research focused on routes and exploring your surroundings will be available throughout the event. Complete the research tasks to earn items, Stardust, and encounters with Hisuian Growlithe. I think you can expect to see complete a route. Earn buddy candies while walking with your buddy, stuff like that. Paid timed research. So if you want to pay the $2 US or your equivalent pricing tier in your local currency, you'll be able to access additional event exclusive timed research. And with that, you can complete those event themed research tasks to receive the following: 6 encounters with Hisuian Growlithe, 5 encounters with regular Cantonian Growlithe, 2 incubators, and 1 super incubator. They're really leaning into the hatching part of this event, which is pretty sick from my perspective. I could see from another perspective that it's really kind of frustrating, especially considering that this event came out close to another blog post for an event that is actually a hatch day.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of eggs all over the place. So I do feel y'all that are not into that, but that's too bad. I'm living my best life over here. Event bundles, there'll be a special Voyager box in the in-game shop. They had a list of items. It sounded all right. But you're going to find a much better deal, and you will continue to find better deals on the web store. And they are promoting this Ultra Hatch box bundle in said web store, and seems to be, in their opinion, the end all be all when it comes to your hatching and incubator needs. So that'll be cool to see. I might actually buy another bundle. It's been a hot minute for me. In Pokestop showcases, it will feature Hisui and Growlithe. And a new avatar item will be added to the game, the Hisuian Growlithe wig. So the bangs, the curls, the covering your eyes. It's great. Good stuff. Yep. And then here are some route updates, whatever you like. We've continued to make improvements to this feature since its launch. Here are some of the updates trainers can enjoy right now. Increased route availability across the globe, a lower level requirement for trainers to create routes, several quality of life improvements, including seeing more routes listed in the nearby menu, directional arrows on routes, and a running count of the Zygarde cells you've collected in the Zygarde Cube details. Note how none of these are, it'll start working on more phones, just outright. I'm not sure if stability has really improved all that much. People have sort of stopped talking about routes.
Yeah. So if you at home are like really into the routes and you've noticed a big change or whatever the case might be, we want to hear from you, because the people that we talk to, which is a lot of people, nobody seems to be talking about routes like at all. So, yep. In the future, trainers can expect routes to continue springing up around the world as more are approved. In addition, you can look forward to the following changes. More trainers will be able to create routes, and they mean the like lowering the levels so it's more accessible for lower level trainers. Trainers will be able to find Zygarde cells more often while exploring routes. That is very much needed because a lot of people are just losing them because the route will complete before the Zygarde cell that they were owed, more or less, even spawns on the map. You have to do a lot of like really finicky, strange stuff. The current hack, for lack of a better phrase, is that as soon as you start getting close to the end, you pause, you walk ahead of your route, you give that cell time to spawn. And then once you get it, if you get it, you go back to where you pause the route, resume, and finish. Oh, that's not the current hack that I heard.
Oh, what did you hear?
Again, I haven't seen this in maybe 2 weeks.
Okay.
I heard it was get to the end of the route, get like within 50, 60 meters of the end, pause the route, close the game, open the game, and resume the route, and the Zygarde cell should spawn like 90% of the time.
Oh, so the only difference being the turn off and come back in, that's just forcing a refresh of the spawns. Yeah. That can also be achieved by waiting, but if you want to make sure that you waited long enough, you can do a reset.
And apparently it works very consistently. So that shows that there's clearly a problem in the system right now.
I've done this and it does work. Yeah. So I can confirm firsthand, but yes, it seems to be kind of agreed on overall here. Trainers will be able to find Zygarde cells more often. That's great. A new notification will be available to inform trainers when there are routes nearby. That's cool as long as it's not annoying and gets in the way of stuff. Various quality of life improvements. Vague, but promising, perhaps. We will see. God. We will see. Cool. So there's that. Kyle, how are you feeling about the Out to Play event?
I'm not going to lie. I saw people like praising this and saying this was a really exciting event.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of mid for me. I don't know what there is to really be excited about. Except the route update, which isn't really part of the event. It's just nestled in the event posting.
Yeah.
I think it's the route update's great.
Honestly, it's the wig for most people. Let's be honest.
The wig is great, but you only can wear so many clothes in this game.
And sometimes not together.
Yep, exactly. Can I get a new Gengar outfit, please? Like, I love the onesie, but can I have like an outfit I can actually pair with clothes, please?
You'll get one. Isn't there a Gengar backpack?
There is. I'm wearing it. It's the only thing I can pair with that onesie.
You want a hat.
I want a hat. I want a shirt that I could pair with different colored pants. I don't know anything. Anyways, yeah, the spawns are fine. That I don't know.
To me, that's the mid part for me is the wild encounters. The exciting part for me is the Hisui and Growlithe. Lots of opportunities for acquisition in different ways. Egg focus, even if it's a sub focus. And then them basically saying, "Hey, yeah, we're working on routes. Please keep doing them because it helps us make them better. Like that's cool. I like this. That actually feels like a conversation that we're sort of having over the course of events.
How much experience does a route currently give?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I don't check, and I don't know.
I don't think it's a lot.
No.
But 3 times experience is cool because if you're following routes, you're going to be playing anyways. So like that's cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
The standout one for me is a little bit weird. Event bundles. Talking about their boxes in particular, when for the last 10 months, we've had this weird amorphous shop where you don't know what's actually in the shop at any given time, depending on who's playing.
Yeah.
So you have to ask your friend, hey, what's in your shop? Is it the same as mine? Oh, I don't have that box.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very strange that it's like, yeah, we got these 2 boxes in here.
Yeah, and I think those will be in addition to some other rotating
whatever.
But I agree. I think it's very good that they're like, hey, here's our intention with this box. Go to this place if you want incubators instead, and that box will be there. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. Cool. Let's move on to the aforementioned Azur Hatch Day, which is happening this Saturday, real soon, Saturday, September 30th, from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. local time. Featured Pokemon is, of course, Azurill, more frequently from 2-kilometer eggs. That's great. Event bonuses increase shiny chance of hatching shiny Azurill, 2 times candy from hatching, 2 times Stardust from hatching, and 2-kilometer eggs will drop much more frequently from Pokestops. The last research day, it was like a 95% drop chance, and then you would get like a 5K here, a 10K there. So it was very doable, very good. You aren't going to get like buried in 10Ks and then locked out of the event. Field research, event-themed field research tasks will be available when you spin photo discs at Pokestops. Complete the tasks to earn Stardust, berries, Pokeballs, and experience. And there will be timed research as well, awarding a super incubator and experience. That's going to be available at no cost. And then their usual reminder, hey, yeah, timed research does expire. So you should finish that. Claim it and then finish it. So, there's that. And there's not really a whole lot to say. This event is either for you or it's not, and you can go really hard. You can go very casual, but you'll probably walk away with at least 1 shiny Azurill if you hatch like 9 eggs. Good chance. Good chance. Kyle's shaking his head. Still not for you, even though this is really, really not even like rocking the boat.
This is garbage. I'm sorry. I'm not like gonna sugarcoat this one.
Really? Okay.
I was for Riolu Hatch Day. I don't have a problem with hatch days. If that's what you want to do, I'll hatch eggs on a hatch day. No big deal. Azurill? This Pokemon has been featured all over the place forever. It's just so unexciting.
I know a lot of people that don't have one, though, that have been playing for a long time.
But I mean, like, we had the Meryl Day for Go Battle Day. It's just not that exciting.
Yeah,
you already can only get babies from eggs. So I don't know. I would hope for a hatch day to be more focused on something that you aren't already hatching eggs to get.
What baby Pokemon would you be excited to see a hatch day about? Because Elekid and Magby we did with their dual community day, right?
I don't think maybe Mime Jr. Maybe.
Oh, what about Smoochum?
No.
Okay.
I mean, it would be more acceptable than Azurill for me. It definitely rates higher.
You know what would be strangely hype, actually, now that I'm thinking about it? A Pichu hatch day would be pretty sick.
Yeah, like that. I don't have a complaint because Pichu's whatever, and Pikachu is, of course, Pikachu.
Yeah.
So it makes more sense to have that as an event, I guess. But I mean, Azurill is Pika Blue, but
they could. It's true. They could also the Pichu could hatch with like the different hats that it's ever had and stuff like that.
There's no way. I'm telling you, there is some contract with the Pokemon company that stops them from bringing back hats in any way except heavily controlled. There's no way.
Yeah, ain't no way. I'm with you. That's fair. It's a good idea, right? And like we usually say, that means it probably won't happen.
Yep.
Cool. Well, there's Azurill Hatch Day. Take it or leave it. I'm going to take it. Kyle's leaving it. Cool. October 2023 Community Day. I hope you put A and B together. It is Timburr. Pitbull. We love that. When Sunday, October 15th from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. local time. Featured Pokemon is Venipede. I'm just kidding. It's Timburr. Featured attack, evolve Girder, Timburr's evolution, during the event or up to 5 hours afterward to get a Conkeldurr that knows the charged attack Brutal Swing. Brutal Swing is a dark type charge move. In trainer battles and gyms and raids, it has 65 power. Brutal Swing has been heralded on the right Pokemon as very, very good. Time will tell, maybe within this very own episode, whether or not that makes Conkeldurr good or not. So we'll wait for that conversation later. Community Day special research story called Muscle Memories, available for US $1 or the local equivalent pricing tier in your country. Event bonuses, it's 3 times Stardust for catching, 2 times Candy for catching, and 2 times Candy XL chance if you can get them from catching. Lure modules and incense last for 3 hours. The usual stuff. Snapshots up to 5. It'll be Timburr. Additional special trade. Maximum of 2 for the day. And those will all cost 50% less Stardust. And the 4-star raids after the fact, if you do them after 5 o'clock up to 10 p.m., makes more Timburr spawn. They still have the shiny chance in the radius of the gym. It'll be a 4-star featuring Girder, the middle evolution. There will be field research tasks that will reward additional encounters with Timburr, Great Balls, Ultra Balls, and more. And stickers exist. They look fine. Stickers always look really, really good. They've really nailed it. The art's always fantastic. So there's that. So is Timburr Community Day hype, Kyle? You know, what's going on here? Because I'm sort of getting I've been told I should probably be hype, but I haven't been convinced yet.
Maybe I'll hype you up for Gear Up, but I'm not going to hype you up right now because I'm going to be upset right now. Can I be upset right now?
You can always be upset, whatever you want.
Where's the ghost type?
Oh, yeah, man. Oh,
how are you going to do this to me? It's October. It's October.
It's ghost season, baby.
It's ghost season. It's like you can do a rerun. I don't even care. Just like how, okay, look, Timburr is good. This is good. It's a good community day. I'm not upset that it's Timburr. I'm just upset that it's not a ghost.
And then they go and give it a dark type move, so it's a literal slap in the face for your ghosts.
Yeah, I don't even.
Oh man.
Yeah. Great Pokemon.
Yeah.
Bad timing.
And middling shiny, in my opinion.
Yeah, right. The only value the shiny used to have was that it was very difficult, very uncommon.
Yeah. This shiny has been out, folks at home, and you could raid for it for what now? 2 years, I think, something like that.
Raid and 10Ks, yeah.
Raid and 10Ks, yeah. So it's exciting. It's exciting for that sort of stuff. But yeah, like I said, we'll talk about whether or not Brutal Swing makes it brutally better, I suppose, here in a moment. But yeah, you should get hyped for this community day. It'll be fun at the very least. But yeah, why couldn't it be a ghost?
It's not a ghost.
It's not a ghost.
Banette? Where's Banette? I don't know.
Where is Banette?
I've got 20 shiny Banettes. I'll still do it.
Yeah. So when's our next classic?
November.
I
think the classic is on your birthday, right? Because then the next week is the actual.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's on the 5th, right? Yeah. So Cool. Bonfire night. Great. All right. Well, that's it for the news. We've covered everything like we promised we would. And also like we promised we would, it's time for Gear Up for a very specific kind of conversation.
This week on Gear Up, we're going to talk about Conkeldurr. Just Conkeldurr. And whether it's any good. Well, okay, cut to the chase. Conkeldurr is very good. But is it good with Brutal Swing? I'm not going to talk about that yet. Because we're going to talk about counter and dynamic punch. Because that's what it's always had. It's going to be what you want for the most part. And it is a fantastic fighting type. It stands out even in the super crowded field that is fighting types in Pokemon Go. It really has always been a competitor with Machamp and Lucario, but it's always been much less available for the most part. You're very unlikely to want to spend the resources to make a team of 6 Conkeldurr, unless you hatch a ton of eggs, I suppose. Without including Shadows in the conversation, it is significantly better than Machamp. and only slightly worse than Lucario, although notably worse than Terrakion, who is number 1 when you eliminate Shadows and Megas. When you include Shadows, it's still good, although Shadow Machamp is just so much better, and it's kind of all over the place. Like, you've had so many opportunities to get Shadow Machamps, and the opportunities just continue. So that kind of hurts Conkeldurr's value because it's not that difficult to get even a bad team of Shadow Machamps to like level 30, which makes it better. But maybe we'll get a Shadow Timburr soon. You never know. Also, Shadow Hariyama outperforms Conkeldurr, but let's face it, who's building Shadow Hariyama?
If I had a Shadundo, I would absolutely kit one out.
But like over 6 Shadow Machamps?
If I had 6 Shadundo Machamps, I have 1.
I mean, it's fair. Like, so Shadow Hariyama is an option. Shadow Hariyama is very good, but I'd probably just keep chasing the Shadow Machamp. All right, lastly, PvP is a thing. I know very little about it, but on cursory glance, Brutal Swing is very good. Of course, it's an amazing move in general, but I think it flips like 7 matchups.
Yeah.
When you simulate it on PvPoke, it goes from like an 18 and 22 to like 24 and 16 win rate. So like it's good.
My layman's understanding has something to do with bait move and coverage. I think both.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
well,
great.
I imagine the coverage has to be huge because like otherwise you get completely walled by a ghost type.
Right.
Like just goodbye.
Yeah, because Conkeldurr is mono fighting type.
Yeah.
Right. Even though it carries around concrete in both of its hands. Not rock. No. Fighting type only.
So like I'm excited for Timburr Community Day. I just wish it wasn't in October.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel you, man.
But I'll go for XL Candy.
Good. Did you take the day off already?
I'm pretty sure I did. We're going to find out when I go into work tomorrow, probably.
We're going to find out.
Look, I don't remember. It's okay.
Famous last words. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
I am infamous for having a terrible attention span and memory. So
that's all good. You're in good company. I promise. That's why these show notes are so detailed. So we can stay on track together. Cool. So big takeaway. Timburr is going to be great. Well, Conkeldurr is going to be great. You should do the community day. Brutal Swing seems awesome. Might be fantastic in PvP, although wait for a more qualified opinion, like say from Fish and DeFi. You should listen to PvP Corner. Okay, great. So we're going to take a real short break here, and when we come back, we're going to start up again with Pokélore this week. Welcome back. It is Pokélore time, and this week we're going to be talking about one Pokemon, and it's Bombirdier, the item drop Pokemon. And while I was unable to secure a shiny in Go, I was able to secure a shiny in Scarlet and Violet while playing the Teal Mask. So that's cool.
Nice.
Dude, let me tell you, okay? I did a flying type sandwich in order to boost my shiny rates for flying types, right? During a Volibile outbreak. And I walked away from that experience with 3 shinies on one sandwich. It was a Noibat, and it was a Bombirdier, and a Hoot Hoot, none of which were a Volibile. They're like, what are we doing? Anyway, cool. Bombirdier. Bombirdier is a white avian Pokemon resembling a stork. It has black slanted eyes with black eyeliner-like markings around them, a long reddish-pink beak with a rounded bump on the tip, and a small fan-like crest on the back of its head. It has a long neck and tall, thin reddish-pink legs with 3 toes facing forward and 1 toe facing backward on each foot. Its claws are black, as are the feathers on the tips of its wings, on its lower back and on the inside of its tail, which has a squared end. Hanging from Bombirdier's chest is a long white apron made of its own shed feathers, which droops down past its legs. When flying, Bombirdier holds the end of this apron in its beak. It uses the apron to gather food, such as Basculin, and bring them to its nest. Bombirdier also gathers various objects, such as rocks, in its apron, which it then drops from high places for fun. It particularly enjoys dropping objects that cause loud noises. In Generation 9, Parting Shot is its signature move. Bombirdier is the only known Pokemon that can have Rocky Payload as an ability. Max CP at 40 is 2487. At 50, it's 2812. 172 stamina, 172 defense, and 198 attack. Kind of like par for the course for like middling decent single evs that just won't be meta, but are fine, you know? Like a mid-game sort of pick. Wing Attack with Aerial Ace and Payback are what you're looking for. It is a flying dark type Pokemon. Yep. So, any love for Bombirdier, Kyle? This Pokemon's growing on me, and not just because I got the shiny, but as I learned more and looked at some art and stuff, I'm like, this is kind of a fun design.
I'm of two minds. I think its in-flight animation makes it look great, and I'm like, ooh, design-wise, so good. But every other animation it has, its idle animation, its animation when it uses attacks and it like lets go of its pouch.
No.
Looks bad. I think it looks real bad.
What if it's when it's standing there with its pouch just open?
I think the artwork of it is great. The animation for it is not.
That's a fair take. I
like
think
the artwork, if you go to Bulbapedia for Bombirdier of it, it's standing there with the pouch hanging down, touching the floor. Fine. Good.
Yeah.
But like in game, not good.
Yeah, I really liked seeing like packs of 6 of them spawn and they would fly like across areas in Kitakami, you know? It was pretty cool. But I would agree with you. Yeah, I think, you know, using it in battle and stuff, it really accentuates the weird transition from flying, fighting, and stuff like that. And you're just like, oh, yeah. But overall, cool Pokemon idea. Good name. Bombirdier.
Yeah.
Good
great
name. Yeah. Cool. So that's it for Pokélore. And that means, Mr. Kyle, we're here once again. It's time for Poke Poll.
So last episode's Poke Poll was, imagine Pokemon Go did not have any shiny Pokemon. How would this affect your view of the game and how you play? First one's from Triptando, and they said, not at all. For me, in Go, it's about stats over looks. I'd build a non-shiny Hundo over a shiny 98 any day. I care more about the IVs for PvP. And to bust the myth, shinies don't do more damage. What?
I didn't know that was a myth.
It's a lie. As everyone knows, skins get wins, so therefore shinies have to also do more damage.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm joking, of course. I don't want anyone to actually believe me there. That is 100% a joke.
Thank you for clarifying.
To make sure someone out there is not taking the deadpan delivery. I'm sorry. Next one's from Goose, and they said, heavily affected. It was my first Pokemon game when it released. However, ever since I picked up a Switch and every Pokemon game since Sword, in every game I have shiny hunted a lot, which is now my main reason why I play Pokemon Go. However, I would play a non-shiny Pokemon Go. I would play for the community and raids to try and get Hundos as a backup collection and complete the Pokedex. Well,
yeah, good reasons. Very good reasons. Although I like how it notes, yeah, but shinies are cool, and that would stink still.
Yeah.
Yep.
Next spot's from Littlest Sparkle, and they said, I demand every Pokemon have at least one costume.
Fair demand.
Yeah, can I have, if there's like a random chance for a Pokemon to have a costume when I click on it, I might be more inclined than if it was just a shiny. Not gonna lie.
Imagine like the absolute roll of the dice you do when you see a Pikachu. You're like, okay,
which one's it gonna be? Next one's from Sarah Amanda, and they said, the chase for shiny Pokemon is a lot of what has kept me playing. I love doing field research because I can target specific Pokemon. I love hunting for Kecleon to see if it's shiny. Ooh, sorry.
Yeah.
I love getting Spinatasks to see if it's shiny. I already got Hundos of those, you know, but like, what if the next one I get is shiny? What if the next one I get is a Shundo?
True.
Why do I keep fighting Rocket Grunts? On the prowl for Shadow Shinies, of course. I currently have 33 from rocket encounters and 2 from raids.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of shadow shinies. Holy cow. What's your rocket badges look like? Curious.
Please, Sarah Amanda, what are you at?
That being said, it's not like I need every shiny to enter my Pokedex as soon as possible. It's the opposite, actually. If I don't get the thing when it debuts or whatever, it's fine. It will make all future encounters with the Pokemon that much more exciting. Having things to do is fun. True.
Very
Those
true.
things do need to be fun, though, usually. Like this.
I gotta tell you, that the Paldean seasonal research that we got, not the Master Ball one, not the Timed one, but the Paldean Adventure one.
Yeah.
That has like the time gates in it.
Yeah.
I got to step 5 and I almost threw my phone. I'm gonna tell you just one of them, and its associated reward, and that encapsulates my feeling on pretty much the whole step. So this is one spoiled task. I'm sorry for those at home. One of them is walk 80 kilometers. Gives you 25 Ultra Balls. 80 kilometers. I know it was free, but come on, like.
Can't even do like 10,000 experience. I don't know.
Just something, it doesn't have to be really good. It just has to feel relatively good. Like 50 Ultra Balls, 100 Ultra Balls for walking 80 kilometers.
Yeah, 80 kilometers is the type of task that an average player is going to take between 4 and 6 weeks to do.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
exactly.
A hardcore player, they'll do it in 2 weeks. They might do it in 1, depending on their capabilities.
Yeah. Or their professions. That's right. Looking at you, Tyler.
Mail carriers.
Yeah. Anyway, I just had to share because I got that. I was like, you're kidding me.
I still need to earn 40 candies with my buddy. So I'm at halfway point.
Walk a Pidgey, bro. Come on.
I'm not cheating because it's not like it's going to take me any.
Cheating. You're not doing anything.
Why would I want to walk a Pidgey? Tell me why to walk a Pidgey and I'll walk a Pidgey.
Do you have like a hundo Pidgeot or something? Do you have a hundo any Pokemon at that candy tier?
No.
Okay, well then I got nothing.
I don't think so. Is Bidoof 1 kilometer?
I don't know. Maybe you should walk him and find out.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I have a Hundo Caterpie.
That counts.
Walk a Hundo Caterpie.
Walk that bad boy.
Oh, jeez. Okay, we're going to move on now. The next response is from Venusy Prime, and they said, I feel like it'd make a lot of events substantially less interesting, like the Paldea event recently. The second I got the candy to be able to evolve the starters, the only thing I really tapped on every time were Lechonk, Weasel, and Houndour for shiny checking, though they're also pretty easy excellent, which helped. With that said, I'm glad we've never got into the grind for most shiny legendaries. They're a nice bonus on top of the XLs for species we want to power up. But even pre-remote raid nerf, I was glad to have no reason to go hard on things like the Lake Trio or Genesect. I like shinies where I can put them into a gym.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
It is kind of wild they still haven't made events where like legendaries can be in gyms and stuff. Because it's not like the gym system and the competitive nature of it. Like, I know people are invested and they participate, but it doesn't like really truly matter in a meta sense. It's not going to be game breaking if for a weekend you can throw legendaries in, and then they like return the legendaries at the end of the weekend, right? Like that would make sense.
Well, we say this a lot, but I feel very strongly that it has got to be a verdict from Nintendo, from the game, from the Pokemon company.
I think
something about the exclusivity of legendaries and their special nature, and they generally only the like enemy leader in a Pokemon game has another legendary besides the trainer.
Yeah. Like legendaries are not meant to be guard dogs for a building, right? They're meant to be
something like that. Because I'm sure Niantic would love to, because being able to show off your Pokemon is a big reason that people do stuff.
Oh, huge!
So
I mean, think
more
about
showing off of legendaries,
too.
more raids done.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Next one's from Colton Leo, and they said, if Pokemon Go ditched shiny Pokemon, it'd be like eating a Pokeball-shaped cookie and realizing there's no chocolate inside. Still tasty, but missing that sweet surprise. Where else would we get our dopamine hits?
In Monster Hunter.
Beating a monster hunt without getting hit.
Yeah. Magnifique.
Yeah, no, 100% though.
Good point.
Next one's from Modders, and he said, "Hello, gents. Removing shiny mons from the game would mean a number of other aspects in Pogo needed to be improved, such as the raid mechanic, PvP stability, comm day structure, hatching transparency, and possibly the introduction of breeding to replace the superficial band-aid that the shiny encounter content gives us today. Don't get me wrong, I love the shiny hunt as much as the next trainer, but I do feel when all else fails, Niantic chuck us a new shiny to plaster over the cracks of the game. Loving your work as ever, chaps. Cheers." Boy, isn't that just like a fantastic metaphor sometimes.
Yes, it is. Definitely is. Oh, just paint over the mold. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Modders,
it's a great...
I still owe you my egg hatching information for the fitness challenge. I haven't forgotten. I just haven't done it. Okay.
You have the screenshot. You just haven't posted it?
Yeah. Well, that happens every single quarter. I do it like the first week, maybe 2. And I'm like, okay, everybody, don't forget. And then I don't do it for like 3 weeks for longer, much longer.
But you take a screenshot every week.
Yeah, I do. I just forget.
Don't post it. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to move on. I have nothing.
You should. You refuse to be involved, so you can't have an opinion.
Yeah, that's not true.
I do know better.
Only about you. I don't have an opinion about anyone else doing it.
Yeah.
About you
Chris,
doing it.
Get it together. Get your act together. What are you doing?
All right. The next one comes in the form of an email from Slip Slimely. They said, "Hey, Chris and Kyle, Slip Slimely here. I wanted to chime in on this week's question. I will apologize as I broadened my response just a smidge for the sake of discussion. I will sincerely try to keep this brief as I've actually had incredibly long discussions with friends over this topic. Sorry if it ends up being lengthy. Firstly, I want to state that I believe that while Pokemon Go would overall have less players, I don't think we would see an insane decline. Why do I think this? Well, several reasons. Firstly, Pokemon Go caters to many types of players: PvP fans, dex fillers, community lovers, and shiny hunters. Arguably, dex fillers and shiny hunters make up the 2 biggest groups right now. Dex hunters are people who enjoy filling out their decks. Their daily goals are playing and getting new Pokemon at their leisure or otherwise, and enjoy watching their decks get closer to 100%. Shiny hunters are those going out and doing tons of raids to get shiny Rockruff or Gumi on day 1, or are hard chasing new shinies as they release. In my experience, the more casual players fall into being dex fillers, but a few absolutely love the thrill of hunting a new shiny from time to time and can sometimes become shiny hunters for a short while. All this to say, I think the most shiny hunters are typically veterans or more hardcore types that know what they're getting into and really work at this kind of thing. Why do I start with this? Well, that's where my second point comes in. Pokemon Go came out in July of 2016. At this time, the game had no shinies, yet we all remember how insanely popular the game was at launch. I mean, come on, we all call it the summer of Go for Pete's sake. Do you know when we got our first shiny Pokemon in-game? Much as I'd love to hear your guess, the answer is in March 2017 was Magikarp. That's 8 months of this game being out and being the talk of the town without shinies. Why does this matter? Think of how many casual players we have. I'd be willing to argue that most of them are still playing in part because they keep adding new Pokemon, and they get to hang out with friends while hunting and filling up that checklist. Shiny is just adding that tiny bit of dopamine over the joy of being with friends or watching their dex numbers go up. As for me, just keep adding costumes. I don't raid as my local communities are all but dead, but me and my friends love to go for walks together during community day, and my buds make sure to catch extra costumes in case I miss one.
Oh, that's nice.
I am so very genuinely sorry for the length of this email, but I've been hard pondering it for the last few days, and I wanted to share this trail of discussion with the lovely GOCast lads. Thanks for reading. Shiny vibes to all. Have a good one. So,
yeah,
this is a fantastic read of the hypothetical situation.
Oh, okay. Why do you think so?
I think that make up a number, because Pokemon Go is a huge game. Make up 100 million players. Just 100 million people open the game once a day. How many of them are opening the game because they want to get a shiny versus how many of them are opening the game because they want to see what spawned? Probably 99.9 to 1.
Because they want to 99% of people that want a shiny, or they just want to see what spawned.
See what spawns.
Yeah, but do they want to see what spawns because it could be shiny?
No.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think in my experience with the super casual people that I know, while they like shinies, some people they're not even on their radar. Like if they get a shiny, that's cool, but that's not why they're even opening the game, unless it's specifically like a community day, which is an exception, I think, to the discussion.
Okay, so granted, right? But what this doesn't take into account is the effect that the chance could happen even subconsciously, like what that does to the mindset and the psychology of somebody that is playing, even if they're not actually looking for it. This is the kind of game where I have gotten this rush once or twice. And even though I don't know why I'm looking for it specifically, I'm playing more because of it. It happened like once or twice, right? Like having read this, I respectfully disagree. With most of it. I do.
I was out for community day this last week playing Monster Hunter while also playing Go. Mm-hmm. And I saw a kid sitting on a bench and I happened to stop there to fight something in Monster Hunter. And so I was over listening to him because he was on like Discord voice chat or something with a friend talking about Pokemon Go. They weren't talking about how many shinies they got. They weren't talking about how much candy they had. They were just talking about, I caught a Pokemon. They were talking about the experience of playing the game itself.
Sure.
Despite the fact that the shiny is the actual goal of a community day for most people. And I think that is a genuine microcosm of most people who play the game.
I don't think so. I just don't think so, because like in the examples that are given here, it's like, you know, there are two different types of people. There are Dex hunters and people that are shiny hunters, right? And sometimes they can be interchangeable, but largely they're separate motivations, right? The thing with Dex hunters are that they are one and done in all cases. Like unless they're hunting hundos, in which case I would say is just like hunting a shiny. It is interchangeable for the same reasons, right?
Yes.
So Dex hunters don't really play all that long and won't be enticed to keep playing because there are such long stretches between new Pokemon being added. Okay, I log in. There's the 2 new ones in the wild. I did the one raid for the brand new one, and now I'm done for 3 or 4 weeks.
Well, but here's the ultimate question though, because I'm saying that Slip Slimely is correct. I'm agreeing with what they're saying.
Yeah.
But the Dex hunters aren't the one paying for the servers to be run.
No, they're not.
That's the big deal. So I do think the Dex hunters outweigh shiny hunters and anything of the like 100 to 1, 1,000 to 1, whatever you want to make up your numbers for. But the shiny hunters are the ones who pay for raids. They pay for eggs.
They pay your salary.
they pay for research.
Yeah.
So
they do.
Yeah.
Without shinies, and then by extension, without shiny hunters, this game looks very different, and not just for lack of shinies.
Yeah. And
yeah, I think you're right.
As what Modders just said, without shinies, the whole thing, every system would need to be redesigned from the ground up to actually encourage people to play the game.
All I'm trying to say is I think that this might undersell the subconscious thing of shinies existing, even if you don't care for them or aren't looking for them in particular. It is still part of the play experience, and especially if you have experienced it once or twice or whatever, like that will affect your decision to continue playing, your frequency of play, your intensity of play, etc. So yeah, I don't know. We definitely agree on that one part though, that without shinies and then therefore shiny hunters, super different environment, right? Super different. Yeah. I 100% agree with that. But either way, whether or not I agree with all the points or not, this is a really good build out, like you said, of a hypothetical. And so thanks for the response, Slimely. Very good.
So for this week's Poke Poll, we have, in your opinion, what's the best way to introduce someone to Pokemon Go? Bonus points for a personal story.
Take them to Larvitar Community Day in downtown Chicago. That's also my personal story.
You probably have more than one personal story like that, but
that was story. You. That's Kyle.
Yeah, that's me. To be fair, I mean, I had played before that.
Yeah,
so,
but you always talk about, you're like, that's the event where you're like, oh, I get it. Like, wow.
If you're talking about absolutely first installation, it's got to be a community day. But a community day where you have curated the experience previously. You can't just be like, all right, we're just going to go out to the park. You know, no, I'm going to go out to this park. I know some of the people here. I know what this looks like. You're going to enjoy the area and you're going to like the game.
Mm-hmm.
On the flip side, somebody who maybe has only casually played like a little bit and you want to like try and hook them back in. I think we haven't had any good ones in a while, but a raid day is really, really good. A good raid day, not a legendary raid day, I'll say, because we haven't had one in a long time. Does a lot of work, I think, and it's a great experience when you get to do it with friends.
Yeah, like a 3-star on foot in good weather where it's like you and like 3 of your buds, right? And the new shiny is out and you're able to knock out 10 in your local park or whatever is ideal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would agree. But anyway, those are our answers. As much as mine was a cop out, it is a good answer. So take that. If you would like to answer this week's Pokeball question, which is, once again, in your opinion, what's the best way to introduce someone to Pokemon Go? Bonus points for a personal story. You can, of course, answer that when we post it on the platform, previously known as Twitter for me forever, at GOCast Podcast. You can send us a voicemail by calling to 262-586-7717. You can leave us an email by sending one to mail@gocastpodcast.com. Not email, just mail at gocastpodcast.com. If you're a patron of ours, we have a channel in our patron-exclusive Discord just for Pokeball answers. You can post there. If you're watching the video version on YouTube, yes, it does exist. Please go and subscribe. It would help us out a lot. You can answer in a comment there. And lastly, if you are listening on the Spotify mobile app, you can interact with us via the Q&A feature there. I post the questions, and then we can like approve of responses and pull them from the show, etc., etc. So if any of those appeal to you, please do. We'd love to hear from you. Awesome. But anyway, speaking of responses via emails and voicemails, Mr. Kyle, I know we're getting to the end of this show here, but like, could you help clarify, like, where exactly are we?
It's time for emails.
Oh, that's right. And 2 voicemails. We got 2 voicemails. That's right. This first one is from Sarah Amanda.
Hey, it's Sarah Amanda. Calling in Tuesday. On Wednesday, tomorrow for me, but for y'all listening in the past, that is when the next official Wayfair Reviewing Challenge details will have been announced. Past me doesn't know all the details. I'm speculating based on the previous challenge. But anyway, last challenge, there were reward tiers for doing 100, 250, or 500 challenge reviews. And the rewards were really, really good. Like, the top tier rewarded 5 upgrades for Wayfair and 2 super incubators for Pogo.
Wow.
How does it work? When reviewing nominations on the Wayfair website, a noticeable portion of your reviews will come from the featured countries, Italy, Germany, and France. The more reviews you do from the featured countries, the better your rewards will be. The challenge is only 1 week long, so if you're interested, hop on the review train today. If you're worried about reviewing stuff in another language, on the Chrome browser, if you right-click, there's a Translate to English option. Works on desktop and mobile until you close the browser, if I recall correctly. Anyway, just wanted to let you know. That is totally a thing going on right now. Also, just want to say, Monster Hunter now. Like, guys, it is so good. I mean,
True.
I know Chris and Kyle knows. I mean,
Preach.
You other guys, it's so good. Monster Hunter is why I started listening to this pod. Got name dropped once, and I was like, these guys are kindred spirits. Maybe someday even we can be Monster Hunter buddies. And so, if you're not loving whatever the current Pogo event is, maybe give it a try. I'm just saying. Peace. Sarah Amanda.
True. Very, very true. Agreed. Yeah. You can also play both in tandem if you've got a plus device, put it in your pocket, spin some stops, catch some Pokemon, and Monster Hunt. And also, we talked about this a bit, Kyle, but like the way that Monster Hunter's spawn work is that you can clear out an area and then have to wait. And so might as well play Pogo during that time.
On top of that, just to sell Monster Hunter even more, it uses a more of a stamina system like other mobile games versus resources like Pokeballs. So if you run out, if you get KO'd in a fight, you just can't play for about 40 minutes. 40 minutes for full health, like 15 minutes if you want to fight something with really low health. So you can play until you have had bad time and then play Pokemon Go. That's what I did for Community Day. It was great.
That's right. Yeah.
It's
and
great balance.
if you can take advantage of the age-old strategy, if I don't get hit, I don't take damage, then you can play for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we said enough about Monster Hunter, and here we are anyway. Sarah Amanda. Looking forward to hopefully hunt some monsters with you in the future. That'd be cool. Our other voicemail is from Pepper is Found.
Hello guys, this is Pepper is Found, and it has been a minute since the routes have been a feature, so I would like to share my thoughts on them regarding what I have done so far with them. Here we go. So Niantic clearly wants this to be a big new feature. They want us to care, but it feels like at best it's a small, nice, unfinished update, and at worst, well, I don't know what it is for worst, but for a best, that's not looking too hot. To sum it all up, from where I'm standing, I don't really see what the points of routes are. Sure, there are bonuses, but whether you do a route or just walk the same path and not do a route, it feels the exact same. So here are my specific issues with the system. Number one, the route menu is way out of the way and it is too easy to forget about. It is just out of sight and out
Very
of
true.
mind. And if this was such a big feature Niantic wanted it to be, there should be an overworld reminder that certain stops and gyms are part of a route. Maybe a small flag on the top of them, the same color as the badge associated with the route. The most popular one or the most walked one would get priority. Or maybe when you spin a stop in a gym, there can be a pop-up or maybe a button similar to the Scan a Pokestop button, prompting to check out, hey, there are routes associated with this stop. The list of routes should not only exist in the In Your Area menu. Heck, the raids in your menu is now obsolete thanks to Campfire, technically. My second issue is with the Zygarde cells. You guys have mentioned it before. Niantic should either give us the cells or not. This hunting them down is bad for so many reasons, but my biggest gripe is how small and easy to miss the cells are. It is so easy to miss while playing in even the most ideal conditions, never mind having bad vision or playing outside where even the max screen brightness is still too low to really see what you're looking at. In my opinion, they should maybe have a route-specific Pokemon spawning on routes, maybe an event, maybe it's a new spawn, and they should be spawning pretty generously. That should be the gimmick. And then at the end of the route, it is your buddy who finds the cell or not. It could be a bonus heart, and you don't have to feed your buddy to get it, but it would increase the odds of finding the cell. Lastly, but certainly not least, in fact I think this is the most doable, I just want my badge menu to not be broken. I just want it to update when I finish a route. I just want to know how many people have done the route that I specifically made. Come on, Niantic. I want the text not to be horizontal. You can do this. I believe in you. Anyways, that's my call. Thanks for listening. Sorry for the long voicemail.
Amazing. No, really good feedback on routes. Really good feedback. So Kyle, you were like, what are you talking about at the end? The text, it'll show community trips and like a number when you look at a route in its details. If you've like submitted one right, you can see how many people have walked it. And then it'll say your trips and how many times you've done it on the right. But sometimes your trips will be in a vertical stack of one character long each. Your trip, top to bottom, and it screws up the entire menu, makes it look really, really bad. And there is no reason for that. So that's what they were getting at. Next time I see it, I'll take a picture. I'll send it to you so you can see it. Yeah.
That's just ridiculous.
There is no reason for it. There's no reason.
Breaking. Come on.
Oh, dude, just add it to the list. I didn't bring it up this week, but in the articles, we had again raids not being capitalized in one article and raids being capitalized in another. And I just didn't have it in me today. So, anyway, really good voicemails. Thank you both very, very much. Appreciate you both. Great. And so we've also got a handful of emails that we're going to read. I'm going to do the first one here. This one is from Brian, and they said, hey, gentlemen, couple things about routes. Yeah, I guess let's keep it topical, more routes. First, I saw a comment on Twitter/X about how loop routes won't distribute a Zygarde cell. Is this true? I've seen that too. I think it's sort of like a confirmation bias where it's like people aren't waiting long enough for the cells, or they're doing too short of routes, or, you know, they're getting kind of jerked around by routes itself because it's not working as intended. And so jumping to conclusions. There is no like clarified, confirmed oh yeah, loop routes do and or don't. It just is not working as intended. So I don't think we can say one way or the other, really. There's a lot of theories, like you can only get 3 cells per day from a route. You can only get 1 cell per day from a route. Circular routes do work. Circular routes don't work. There's a bunch of theories right now, but it is too soon, especially with we know for sure it's not working 100% and that they're working on it. I think it's too soon for us to make hard and fast rules, right? But good, really good question. Secondly, a story. Last week, my family traveled to a family reunion in Wyoming, and over the years, my son and I have been responsible for 90% of the submissions in the town. While walking our dog, we went around and started knocking out the gyms, but to our surprise, the gyms were taken back quickly. 2 players found us and asked if we had the ability to create routes, and I told them I could create one. They mapped out where they wanted one, and I walked it. It took 4 hours to go live. Wow, that's really fast.
That's exceptional.
That's huge. There must have been nothing for miles. And they're like, oh, here's a hot spot. Okay, you'll get in there. They found me again and asked me to create another one. My son then noticed that he had access to route creation. I created 1 more, and my son created 4. All but 1 went through after 2 days. That's still really, really good.
Yeah, that's exceptional.
Yeah. And finally, an update. I wrote earlier about trying to get my wife to catch me a comfy while in Hawaii. Remember the girl vacation? Yeah. Sadly, she never caught one, but she and her friends were happy about catching 27 lotads, which they thought were super cute. That's great. That's great.
Sorry.
No, it's good. Lotads are awesome. The good news was that she had 2 stops at her hotel and swiped them daily and brought back 20 gifts from Hawaii. And now I've got the ocean pattern Vivian. Small victories. Hope you were living your best lives, Brian. Well, I got good news for you. Worlds is going to be in Hawaii this upcoming year. So hopefully somebody will get a confet and bring it back for you. That place, So, yeah, hopefully. 27 lotats, cool. They're great. I think they're adorable. Thank you for the email, Brian. Appreciate it.
Next email is from Mythic, and they said, hey, Chris and Kyle, it's Mythic again. I wanted to write in to tell you that I'm officially not just a casual Pokemon Go player. Recently, I had a soccer injury and have to use crutches for a while. It was a bummer because I was planning on going out to a local park and walking around a lake to hopefully shiny hunt the new Lechonk shiny. The Paldea event has formed the semi-hardcore Pokemon Go player in me. On the second day of the event, I was at our church's 10th anniversary, so we were there mostly all day. When I woke up, I checked Pokemon Go, as I would normally, and clicked on a Lechonk. I couldn't believe my eyes. My first Pokemon of the day was a shiny Lechonk.
Oh, and you're
really
awake.
Made up for the crutches.
Yeah, wow.
I bragged all my friends as one would, and then went to church. When I was there, my friend caught a shiny Hoppip. He told me we were tied on shinies for the day, which was not true because Hoppip was boosted odds shiny, but I went along with it. Yeah, that's the hardcore. That's the hardcore response. Right. See, there you go.
Don't let them have an inch. Be like that kid that Kyle squished his dreams at GoFest years ago.
It was 6 years ago. Okay,
6 years ago. We haven't told that story in a while. Do you want to cover it real quick? So, there was somebody that was very happy about a shiny they got, and they might have been a younger trainer. And then Kyle was like, "Yeah, we've all got like 6 of those."
It was like the shiny Plusland Minum too,
yes,
which we were all really annoyed at catching.
Everybody on the face of the planet was annoyed with those shinies at that time, except for that one kid. And you're like, no, we suffer together or we don't suffer at all.
Not even 2 minutes later, I caught the same shiny with better IVs.
There you go.
Yeah, see, there you go. A few days later, I had my first chase after a Pokemon on the nearby. It was the end of the Paldea event, just a few hours away from the ending. I was still on crutches and at my church when I saw a Nimble on the nearby. You might think, oh, it's just a Nimble, but somehow I still hadn't gotten my low kicks dex entry. So I ran. And by ran, I mean went as fast as I could on crutches to get to a Pokestop not too far away. I was going across the front lawn of our church and didn't notice the upcoming hole in the ground. I looked at my phone and clicked on the Nimble and fell. I hit the ground so hard that I almost accidentally threw my Master Ball at it. Ooh. But I ended up catching it and everything was okay. So there's my story on how I advanced from being casual. Oh yeah, I recently got my first best buddy. My Hundo Mewtwo. Okay, well,
yeah, you can't have a
no.
Hundo Mewtwo and be like, yeah, casual. Yeah.
No big deal. I
Yeah.
just did one raid. It's fine.
one raid.
One and done for this
Yeah.
type of stuff.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
No, that's great. That is awesome. I love how it was the because Hoppip was boosted odd shiny, it wasn't equal is a very elite response. And then afterwards being like, and I got the same shiny, but it was even better than theirs is like an even more elite response.
Yep, 100%. Yep.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you very much, Mythic. Appreciate you sharing that with us. It's really cool. And we got another email here. This one's from Chowry. Hello, Chowry again. I have a theory. Maybe it's Corey. I don't know.
What?
We didn't get
correct us though for that wrong.
I know. So you got to confirm if we had it right. Let's go with Chowry. Okay. Would like to share an update on my progress. I got 200 Rayquaza from GoFest. Best Buddy Shiny and 100% are now level 50. It took 900,000 dust out of my start in 1 million. Highest I've ever gotten. Hunched a Hundo Jangmo-O and wasn't patient enough for a future Jangmo-O calm day. That's crazy already. Oddish was everything but Hundo Bellsprout was the highlight there. Shiny Oddish was caught, but Dex number 420 was the MVP of the day. Very, very true. Genesect Raid Hour didn't go very well. Returning from it now, writing this. I'm now 080 on Shiny eligible Genesect, but I don't mind seeing as Legendary Beasts, Shiny eligible Guzzlord, and Darkrai are all visible in the distance. That's good attitude to have. Buddy progress. I'm working on my second of 2 Hundo level 50 Meowscarada, both traded, one went lucky. Recipients both got 98 Sprigatito.
Wow.
That might be the craziest thing you're sharing here.
What?
That's really good. Really good.
And you took them both to 52? Dedication.
That's wild. Season kicking off fantastically for me. Hope your guys is as good or better. Hundo vibes all. I will not be apologizing for the mediocre length of this email, nor my excessive use of parentheses. Ciao.
Valid.
Hey, yeah, we like parentheses here. You're in good company. That's fine. That's wow. What a CV of achievements for the past month or two. Like, whoa, that's crazy. The Hundo Jangmo-O is really, really something to be proud of. I think. Yeah. Good on you. Good on you. Very, very cool. And thanks again for sharing. Yeah.
All right. And our last email is from Artemis Dragon. And they said, hello again, gents. Artemis Dragon here. And I wanted to ask if you guys could restate some of your suggestions on how PvE could become better as you've done in the past. I personally can't stand how it has become such a boring and in many cases an overhyped experience. Shadow raids and elite raids. Rest in peace, right, Kyle? Elite raids were recently added, but they don't seem very popular. The ready button is almost perfect and was a good addition, but we're still long overdue for a real raid update here, my dudes. Some ideas of mine would be green, yellow, and red color markers that highlight Pokemon in your storage while in a raid lobby. Green means your Pokemon has super effective charge moves, yellow for neutral damage, and red for not very effective, aka do not use. I know plenty of folks who still don't have a single raid party saved that would appreciate this. Guilty. I have like one raid party that I delete sometimes and make a different one.
I have like 6, but they're very outdated. I made them like 3 years ago.
I think I have one currently, and it was an ice party to use for Mega Rayquaza raids. So
yeah, okay.
Here's a missed opportunity. Scheduled weekend raids with shortened timers at parks during 3-hour events. We're all there playing. Why not boost the popular raids too? And with Campfire being available now, it would be easy to know where everyone will be thanks to the meetup feature. Yeah. I mean, I agree.
I mean, we've talked about timers being a problem in the past, and every single time it's shortened for any event, we're always like, why isn't this with every event? So yeah, we would 100% agree with you. Yeah.
Another idea, which I've mentioned before, have premium and freemium raid bosses. Pokemon such as Turtonator and Esper and top tier 5 stars would be your premiums. Why is Esper a premium? Anyways, Pokemon that's Pokemon that spawn and anything else depending on popularity would be free to engage until you've hit the daily cap of X number of raids. Like we have 25 battles in GBL. You can use any Pokemon you want for freemium raids, but if you select sub 3000 CP Pokemon, you'd get different items like incubators and lures for defeating a 3-star. And the same rewards for defeating a 1-star with sub 500 CP picks.
Oh, okay. So like a hardcore mode or like a high
deliberately
difficulty.
challenging yourself, like the mission of beat a Go Rocket leader with sub 2500 CP.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I love that idea. First off, fantastic idea. Raids are a great feature, but Niantic really needs to touch things up by a lot for the sake of all these bench warmers we have lying around. There's a group of people out there right now that are itching to have a reason to level 50 their Shundo Toxicroak or Perfect IV Absol just for kicks and giggles. Totally not talking about myself here. Okay, I do have Hundos for both, but no Shundos. LOL. Anyway, sorry, but not sorry. Cheers. P.S. Shout out to the gentleman via voicemail on episode 252 who lost 75 pounds. That is phenomenal.
Yes, and we'll say again, that is phenomenal.
Yes,
yep.
Absolutely. Okay, so this is going to be the last time I mention this on this episode. But
Monster Hunter
now. It is never going to happen because Nintendo and the Pokemon Company are their own beast.
Mm-hmm.
But it is so fun to like fight something in Monster Hunter. And it's not fun to do that in Go. Like, plain and simple. That's what kind of needs to be changed. And I don't know what you do that satisfies the Pokemon formula to make it better.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, because you look at it and there's tapping and there's swiping for dodging just like Monster Hunter, and yet so wildly different, right?
Yep.
So I think it's a lack of punishment in Go and a lack of being able to do well. You know?
Yeah, and also it's a small thing. There's no feedback in Go. You don't know you're doing anything at all. Mm-hmm. It's all neutral. There's no give and take for you hitting, them hitting you, that kind of stuff.
Damage numbers would be nice.
Yeah. And I think barring a complete rework of the entire system, a rework of the way that gyms and eggs interact, I think is something that would really benefit the system. As mentioned, raid timers is a huge deal. Why are we still waiting for eggs? Why is that the thing 6 years on now? 5 years since it launched? I don't remember.
Especially for 1s and 3s. They should just be there.
Just show up. Just the egg for legendaries and 5 stars and megas to a lesser extent, I suppose. That's fine to have a timer. 1 and 3 don't need a timer.
5 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, maybe 5 minutes. Why am I waiting 45 minutes for an egg to hatch? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think those are the biggest opportunities for raids.
So the only thing with that is if you're going out and you're like, oh, I'm trying to hit a bunch of raids, and you're like, okay, this one's hatching in 20 minutes, this one's hatching in 25, 30, 35, 36, 40, 41, right? You can plan out a route around that, right? Mm-hmm. But that could just be substituted with them just being available. And so then you're not,
just have
shoehorned into...
Just have more raids show up. That's fine.
Yeah.
You either make more money from people using raid passes or people have better opportunities to do the raids.
The only counterpoint to that is that it blocks out gym related activities, right? But it doesn't matter.
I agree, but this is where I think it needs to be fixed, revitalized, separate the features in that regard. They can still be connected, but you should still be able to take over a gym while a raid is happening. We don't do team bonuses anymore. Like, who cares about that?
Mm-hmm.
What are we fighting over here?
It'd be really cool if during the raid it kept track of which team did this much damage over the course of that raid being in there. So even over the course of multiple raid instances. Mm-hmm. And then like after the raid is done, okay, the next raid that's here. The team that did the most damage in the last raid has a benefit here for the next raid. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I think these are just some spitballing ideas that really shows there is potential for increasing engagement with raids, which is the primary thing that needs to happen. Raids need to be engaging.
100%. And that engagement, while it is passable, especially live events, that engagement is talking to everybody else around you and just having a nice time. That really ignores a lot of people that don't come to live events, that can't make it to live events, that only play with 3 or 4 people in their area, and they're usually busy, so they do solo play. Like those trainers should not be disregarded, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're all on the same page. It needs an overhaul, just like gyms need an overhaul. Perhaps they could be related. That'd be really cool. I'd like that. All right. But anyway, thank you very much for the email, Artemis Dragon. And thank you again to everyone for their emails and voicemails. Y'all are the best. If you would like to send us an email just like these fine folks did, you can by sending it to mail@gocastpodcast.com. If you'd like to send us a voicemail, you can do so by calling 262-586-7717. You can also email in a voice file or send it to me via Discord, whatever you like. We'll make it work. No worries there. Beyond that, you can visit our website for all things GoCast Podcast at gocastpodcast.com. Don't forget to check out PvP Corner. Follow us on the platform previously known as Twitter. It's still Twitter at GoCast Podcast. We've also got a Threads account. I need to start posting stuff there again. GoCast Podcast. And then if you'd like to help support the show monetarily, even as little as $1 a month, please check out our Patreon. It helps us do a lot of stuff here, like, you know, support live events things, do the pin handouts that we do, and upgrade our stuff, all that, everything you can imagine. It really is possible because of our patrons. And that's via Patreon. That's spelled patreon.com/GoCast Podcast. And speaking of patrons, shout out to our elite trainer tier patrons. Kyle, you asked for it. It's your turn.
All right. Shout out to elite trainer patrons Bo, Daniel, Lori, Michael, Ozzy, Arkham, Marvin, and Mimi, Swartz, Thayer, Justin, Jason, Charles, Motters, Lee, William, Brandon, Ethan, Steven, Nick, Kelvin, our favorite listener, Drew 2, Camo, The Ugly Rock, Jacob, Victoria, Sarah Lore. I'm sorry, I mispronounced the last one.
You got it. You pushed it out. Wow, nice work.
I think I can do like 6 more names, and then it's absolute limit.
You heard it. Let's get more elite patrons in there, and let's tire Kyle out. This is our new fundraiser. Let's make it so that we can't do it anymore. Awesome. Well, if you'd like to help support the show non-monetarily, because it ain't in the cards for you, or you've already done it and you're like, how else can I help out these guys? That would be in the form of a review. Please leave one wherever they are available to leave. We've gotten 3 since the last time we had reviews to talk about. This first one is from a guy who plays Roblox. I guess so. It's titled Hello. And they said, always wanting to ask you guys one really important question. What is your personal favorite Pokemon? We get this every once in a while. Kyle, I think we mention yours every single episode. What's your favorite Pokemon?
Hang on. If you watch the video, I'm wearing a shirt. It's Gengar.
It's Gengar. It's Gengar. And mine is Cyndaquil, although I could make a good case for Scyther as well. Yeah. So thank you for the review. Appreciate it. This next one is from Rift_Games12345, and it's titled A Shundo Podcast. And they said, I've been watching for a couple of months now, and I've loved every episode. Chris and his glass half full vibe, and Kyle, well, not so much, but we love you, Kyle. Fish and DeFi give us all the knowledge, so I'm PvP ready. Props to them. You overall make such a friendly community that is open for anyone to join, even rural players who have no stops on the nearby, like me. I like the way you critique new features and events, with Chris being all about the silver lining and Kyle finding anything bad possible. Anyways, I love the show, and I hope you keep the episodes rolling. You bet. We do have a good balance here. We take pride in that. So we're having that you enjoy it. And this last review is from Joe Mama 88203077. It's titled, This is the best podcast for Pokemon info in a fun and entertaining way. And it reads, Hello, Chris and Kyle. I just started playing Pokemon Go on Squirtle Community Day Classic in July, and I found your podcast the same day. You have helped me stay interested in Pokemon Go and love the format that makes it both informative and fun to listen to. Shiny vibes all. Now, sorry for the review. I think they meant to say sorry for the long review. Please don't be sorry for the review. Good stuff. Thank you very much for the review, Joe Mama. Appreciate it. All right, Kyle, last thing we got to do here is set some goals, and then we can kiss 253 goodbye. So
Yep.
what do we have ahead of us? What's happening? There's the Hatch Day this weekend, right? And it's
Out and play.
out to
for play.
play. Yep. Gotcha.
Yep. So I need to make sure I get my daily streaks. I was actually doing really good before Monster Hunter came out.
It's a shame it's so good.
It is almost a shame.
It's
but
tragic.
like
Oh God, we were so ready for it to be bad.
I was so ready to be so disappointed.
Oh no, this is exceptional. Oh no.
Oh no, I don't have time for this. So daily streaks, I want to make sure I get them.
Okay.
I want to do the timed research for the out to play. And I want to make sure I do my mega progress. Hopefully I can get my mega Gardevoir pretty close to being able to use for the Guzzlord raids. I want to try and solo one, or maybe duo with my girlfriend or something. So
yeah, that's a cool goal. I think I'm gonna copy you next week or not next week, but the week after, or even beyond that.
It's the first week in October
when Guzzlord comes out.
So,
yeah, I'm gonna try soloing too. That's a cool
that'll be
one.
next week.
We haven't had a challenge like that in a while, so you got to take advantage. That's cool. For myself, shiny Hisuian Growlithe in any way possible. Just at least one, please. I'd like more, but one would be cool. At least 50 eggs, but I think between the out to play event and with the shiny Growlithe in eggs and things like that, and the Azrael Hatch Day, I'll probably do more than that. And then speaking of Azrael Hatch Day, I like to hatch at least 5 shiny Azrael. So we'll see how that goes. Cool. All right, everybody. That means it's time for us to go. So thank you very much for tuning in and listening all the way through. If you did, it helps us out a lot. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next week for episode 254. Until then, shiny vibes. Get your Pokemon. Do the thing.
Yeah.
Hunt some monsters. You really should. And bye-bye.
Bye.